Is Steve coming back in June? Well, see my lightsaber here? This is the one I used. Got the idea to model in Moto. That's my kids. And I got a few more down here too. Sorry, that's off tangent. Why I'm here is to talk about Steve Jobs. Because Steve Jobs said he would be back in June, quote unquote. Now, it's May. Am I right? We got a month. Do you guys think he'll be back? Will Steve be back when he said he'll be back? And if he is back in June, will he make it back by WWDC, which I think is June 8th? If he don't make it back by WWDC, is he not coming back? I mean, if he comes back in June, he may as well come back before WWDC, right? I mean, if he's not going to come back in June for WWDC, then what would be the point of coming back in June at all? So, will he be back in June? If he is back in June, will he make WWDC? If he doesn't make WWDC, is that a sign of him not coming back? Does he have cancer and is he dying on us? Or is he really just got a little problem like the doctor said? And that being said, will Apple still be Apple without Steve? So let me get this out there and up front by saying no. I don't think Apple will be the same without Steve. That being said, do I think Apple will totally fall on its face and go under? Absolutely not. What is this I got down here on my screen popping up here? Oh, that's my VO web player. I'm checking out the new beta web player. I don't know if I like that bullshit stuff there. That's awful Windows looking. Something popping up and giving me a notice telling me that my videos are done downloading. I'll find out in a minute my videos are done downloading. Don't pop some shit up in my face and show me that it's done downloading. So, shame on you, VO beta. I don't like that Windows type shit. Come on, let's get off that. Anyway, back on subject. No, Apple will not go under. I think Apple will be fine for a while. Then it's going to start declining and there's going to be a big clusterfuck, okay? But then I do think Apple will come out of it, but I don't think they'll ever be what they were under Steve. Apple and Steve, their success correlates with one another. Some people want to say, well, I mean, Steve run Next, and Next wasn't a success, and some people could beg to differ on that because OS X come out of Next. But besides that, I mean, that's not saying that Steve is going to be successful at running any single company he goes out to start. Because Next proved that. He had some great ideas to come out of Next, but the company itself was not a huge success. So that's not saying Jobs is the ultimate businessman that can go out and just conquer any business that he puts his mind to. No, not saying he can't, but I'm not saying he can. But what I am saying is him and Apple go together like Big Macs and special sauce. You take that special sauce away from that Big Mac, and it's not a Big Mac no more. You take that special sauce and try to put it on a Whopper, will that taste good? Absolutely, probably not. Sure, there's a few people that might like it, but the most people, it ain't gonna like it. Okay? And it's the same thing. You take Steve and Apple, that's the Big Mac and the special sauce. You take one away from the other, and it's not going to be as good. When you take one and incorporate it into something else, it's not going to be as good. Okay? So, the next argument is not really an argument at all. Because I agree with Guy Kawasaki when he says, Apple is not a marketing company. They're an engineering company. Of course, the marketing people are going to say, no, it's all about brand recognition. And the brand, people buy Apple, they buy a brand. They hear Apple. It's a brand, like product recognition, you know? And they're not. They're not a marketing company because, like Guy Kawasaki said, in theory, marketing companies do research and development, R&D, and they go out, research the market, find out what the market wants, and in theory, they make that product to try to give the market what they want. Now, I don't know how many of you know Apple the way I know Apple, but if any of you know Apple the way that I know Apple, you know that that's not true. Apple is anything but a marketing company. Apple does anything but give the public what they want. I mean, they do give the public what they want, but ultimately, Apple don't care what people want. Apple does what Apple's gonna do regardless of what people want. And that's just the Apple way. And that's what makes Apple so great. They don't go along with the mainstream. They don't follow suit. They do what they want to do, make what they want to make. And if people don't like it, they say, fuck you. Pretty much. In layman's terms, that's the way it goes. And I like that about Apple. I like them taking the attitude that we're going to do things our way. We're not going to conform. We're not going to give our operating system to everybody because that's not our main concern. Having a dominant market share would be wonderful. But if we have to turn our operating system loose to get that market share, we don't want it. We don't want software market share. We want hardware market share. We don't want OS X in every home. We want a Mac in every home. And keeping OS X on Mac-only hardware helps ensure that future. Yes, would they have great gains from releasing OS X? More than likely, yes. They would just make $1 bazillion and their market share would go up and people would know them more and they would probably help them out. But that's not Apple. That's not Apple's way and that's not what Apple wants. They want a Mac in your home. They don't want just OS X on some hacked up PC. That OS X is special and they regard it as being more than just Windows, and it deserves more than some hack installed on a $500 PC. And I think Steve feels the same way I do. I don't know him. I've never met the man in person. So when I call him Steve, it's not like I'm calling him Steve because I know him. I just call him Steve because that's how everybody knows him. But Apple's never gonna do what the mass market wants Apple to do. Apple's always gonna do what Apple wants to do. And if Steve leaves, that might become a problem. They get a bottom line man in there that only worries about profits and giving the market what it wants, then Apple will lose its air of design superiority, I guess you could say. I don't know, because it would just turn into a regular old PC, it feels like to me. That's what would happen. And Mac isn't a regular old PC. They're more expensive and you get more what you pay for. Okay, you get a better design product, you get people that took the time to design these products better, more expensive manufacturing process to manufacture these Mac Pros with no wires inside that you can see and nothing like that. I mean, these manufacturing processes take more expensive processes. Go open up a $500 Dell, then open up a Mac Pro and tell me which one costs more to manufacture. It's a lot of things like that that people don't take into account and don't understand, and they'll never understand, because these are the people screaming, I want OS X on my $500 PC, and they don't understand why OS X don't deserve to be stuck on a $500 PC. My 2 cents, OS X.